Fergie is preparing to go nuclear, to drop the bomb that for a long time she has resisted.
Harry and Meghan are incredibly nervous about the possibility of a tell-all memoir from Sarah Ferguson.
And here is Meghan Markle posting on her Instagram, going to the island. That's Little St. James. And by the way, this plane, PJWIT, was flying to Little St. James, especially on that day that she posted this story.
Sarah Ferguson just got slammed by every major publisher in the US, according to the Sunday Express. She pitched a tell-all memoir asking for $2 million and came back with nothing but rejection letters and in some cases, complete silence. Can you believe it? The woman who has witnessed the royal world from the inside like few others couldn't even score a single meeting. One Hollywood insider spilled the tea. No one wants to be tied to a deal that could look like profiting from family drama. $2 million. Rejected. Just imagine it. Someone with all the behind-the-scenes stories of the royal family hitting a dead end.
She knows the way for the big payday is a Prince Harry-style autobiography. A $20 million advance, like Harry received, is what she wants.
And here's the kicker. It's not Ferguson who's in trouble. It's Meghan Markle. Because a publisher saying no doesn't kill a book, it makes it more explosive. A desperate insider with royal secrets and nothing left to lose is now fully aware that playing nice won't cut it. And the people who should be paying attention, especially the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, are reportedly sweating bullets. Radar Online reported that multiple publishers had previously expressed interest in Ferguson's story. An insider suggested she could have locked in a deal that would guarantee financial security. Meanwhile, the Sussexes, the couple who pulled in $20 million from their own memoir, are said to be worried about how someone who was actually in the thick of royal life could frame their private actions and exchanges. Tom Sykes at the Daily Beast warned that courtiers are facing what he called a hairy scenario.
And the people who are most terrified about this are Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, because it is Fergie, of course, who could reveal all about what really went on with this couple and the British royal family and Andrew behind the scenes.
That memoir, or a memoir of that scale, would, of course, revisit some of the most controversial moments in royal history, including the fallout from Megxit.
Imagine a massive money deal exchanged for a narrative that the royal institution can't control. But here's what's not being connected yet. Just because US publishers said no doesn't mean the UK or Australian publishers did. And it definitely doesn't rule out a TV interview or a streaming deal. Magazine Insider added more drama. Ferguson has been analyzing the path Harry and Meghan took: televised interviews, streaming projects, then a book. It's a formula for both financial security and retaliation. And Ferguson is reportedly planning to follow that exact strategy, going completely rogue on the royals. If she pulls it off, it could be an absolute nightmare for the institution. Now, to understand why Meghan is more vulnerable than anyone else, you have to look at one relationship most people barely notice. Meghan Markle and Princess Eugenie. On the surface, people know they were friendly, but according to insiders, they were genuinely close.
The press is completely ignoring this. The press does not want to touch the fact that Meghan was called as a witness by Virginia Roberts, who said that she was a close associate of Prince Andrew. And of course, it's not in anybody's best interest to have Meghan Markle testify, because they know that she knows a lot. And this is why this woman is flaunting her impunity around, or feels untouchable.
Eugenie was a calming influence for Meghan, going on double dates, holidaying with the Clooneys in Lake Como, and generally being a rock during tense times. When Harry and Meghan left for California in 2020, Eugenie and her husband Jack Brooksbank moved into Frogmore Cottage, the Sussex home renovated with millions of taxpayer dollars. They were living in Harry and Meghan's house during one of the most turbulent periods in modern royal history. That connection, that insider knowledge, could become a major factor if Ferguson decides to spill even part of what she knows. And Eugenie's mother? That's Sarah Ferguson. And this is the part that should make anyone in Montecito sit up and take notice, because Meghan and Eugenie weren't just casual friends. They had a bond built on trust during a real crisis. When Meghan first stepped into the royal world, overwhelmed and navigating a system she barely understood, she reportedly clashed with staff almost immediately. Eugenie was one of the few people she leaned on. Insiders say Meghan confided in Eugenie, sharing personal details about life behind palace walls, about her relationships, the tension with staff, and the challenges she faced, things she believed would stay private.
She needs the cash. She thinks it's already too late for her daughters because William is slowly marginalizing them.
That Meghan utilized Beatrice and Eugenie to get closer to Prince Harry. And I think that that's an element of the story that Harry and Meghan leave out.
Meg said things in confidence in private, believing they would stay between friends, multiple sources reported. Just like any daughter would talk to her mother, this pipeline, from Meghan to Eugenie to Fergie, is exactly why Sarah Ferguson's memoir could keep Meghan up at night. Ferguson doesn't need anonymous sources, palace leaks, or documents. She has direct access to someone who lived it. What Meghan shared in those intense, emotional moments, the frustrations, the heartbreak, the planning for a big life change, those are the details that sell books. And now, the rejection from US publishers? That doesn't calm the storm. It makes it more unpredictable than ever. Tom Sykes at the Daily Beast described Ferguson as fully cast out. No official role, no public funds, and 7 charities reportedly dropped her in 1 week. She has closed multiple businesses, many still owing money, and hasn't been seen publicly much. Reports say she spent nearly a month at Paracelsus Recovery in Switzerland, a luxury wellness clinic charging $17,000 a night. Other accounts have her bouncing between borrowed villas, golf retreats, and high-end hideaways.
Eugenie not only went to the Super Bowl with him, we've seen her in Montecito with her husband having dinner with Harry and Meghan. Eugenie lived in Frogmore Cottage amongst their things, amongst Meghan's journals.
Friends tell the press she's almost broke and nearly homeless, but this is not someone who shies away from taking action. Ferguson has a history of making bold moves. In 1996, right after her divorce from Andrew, she published My Story. One section about borrowing Princess Diana's shoes caused a scandal so big, Diana cut ties completely, and they never reconciled before Diana's death the following year. Tom Sykes points out, Ferguson has already shown she's willing to write things that upset the palace. She's done it before, paid a price, and did it anyway. Radar Online reported that Eugenie is preparing a room for her mother at her oceanfront villa in Portugal, a $4.7 million property. Meanwhile, Andrew reportedly spends his days at Royal Lodge, lamenting the loss of his titles and playing video games. This is the state of the York family right now. One parent facing financial chaos, the other plotting a blockbuster memoir from borrowed accommodations, while their daughter houses her mother in exile. All as the royal future they once knew seems to crumble in real time. According to a friend of Ferguson's, this is shaping up to be the most honest memoir yet.
David Boyes, who was Virginia Giuffre's attorney, wanted Meghan Markle to give evidence in the civil trial, saying that there were things about Andrew that she knew.
That's true.
Sources say Sarah Ferguson's upcoming memoir would inevitably include accounts of where the bodies are buried in the royal family. That's a direct quote. Another insider added that her motivation is as much financial as it is about protecting her reputation. Ferguson's circumstances today are a far cry from her heyday. She's 66, a 2-time cancer survivor, a grandmother, and she's watched everything she built inside the royal world get shredded in just months. And here's where the royal family's reaction tells you just how seriously they're taking this. According to In Touch Weekly, the royals are reportedly considering suing Ferguson to stop the book before it even exists, claiming it could cause lasting damage. That's right, a legal battle over a manuscript that hasn't even been written yet. The report also says Prince William has essentially cut off Beatrice and Eugenie, barring them from Royal Ascot, instructing the family to avoid photos with them and excluding them from public events. Biographer Andrew Loney told the Daily Express that the princesses might be better off renouncing their titles entirely. Beatrice is really Mrs. Pelmaze now, and without the title, nobody would give her 5 minutes.
She's gone from a £13,000 a night Zurich wellness retreat to a spa hotel, a VIP spa hotel in Ireland. She's been to the Middle East begging for money. She's got no economic options left. No one's giving her money anymore.
He said, this is where Meghan Markle's connection comes into play. If the palace strips Beatrice and Eugenie of their titles, what leverage do they have left? Why would Eugenie keep Meghan's confidences? Why would Ferguson hold back? The palace's power over the York family has always been the threat of punishment, but you can only threaten someone who still has something to lose. Ferguson? She's already lost her title, her home, her charities, her public role, even her ex-husband's influence. Eugenie is now on the verge of losing her title and place in the royal circle. And once someone has nothing left, they become the most dangerous person in the room. That's why Meghan should be more concerned about Ferguson than any tabloid or palace insider who's ever leaked a story. So, what could Ferguson reveal? Let's get specific because this isn't just vague rumors. There are at least 4 key areas where her memoir could directly contradict the Sussex narrative, and all of them are documented enough to pass a publisher's legal review. First, the bridesmaid dress incident. Meghan told Oprah that Kate made her cry over the wedding dresses.
Fergie has secrets, and her financial desperation takes her to dark places, cash for access.
Yeah.
So I do believe that the Sussexes could and should be worried about this new development.
But multiple royal biographers, including Valentine Lowe and other palace insiders, reported the opposite, that Meghan left Kate in tears. The palace investigated at the time, but the results were never made public. Eugenie was at that wedding, part of the bridal party's orbit, and one of Meghan's closest confidants at the exact time. If Meghan told Eugenie what really happened and Eugenie shared it with her mother, Ferguson would have information no biographer could claim firsthand. And if that account doesn't match the Oprah story, Meghan's credibility could take a massive hit. Second, the bullying allegations. In 2018, palace staff filed a formal complaint accusing Meghan of bullying behavior. Jason Knopf, the Sussex's communications secretary, reportedly submitted the complaint, and the palace commissioned an internal review, but it was never made public. The Sussexes denied the claims, but if Ferguson has knowledge of what Eugenie witnessed or heard firsthand, this could be explosive.
When you have been lied about for a series of years, how hurtful that is. So imagine that for over a period of months and years, and you know that it isn't true.
Third, the palace communications and private messages. Ferguson reportedly had access to details Meghan confided in Eugenie that no one else inside the royal family knew. Every whispered complaint, every frustrated text, every private observation, these are exactly the kinds of details that can completely rewrite the story the Sussexes want the world to believe. And because Ferguson doesn't rely on anonymous sources, this information is direct, firsthand, and explosive. Fourth, the financial and strategic side of royal life. Ferguson has lived through the highs and lows of wealth, privilege, and scandal herself. She knows how power works in the palace, who controls what, and who is vulnerable. Sources suggest her memoir could reveal decisions, investments, and family dynamics that have never been public. Nothing about money in the royal world is ever truly private. But Ferguson's insider perspective could make the entire narrative raw and scandalous. And it doesn't stop there.
Here's what I would say about that. I think it's very important to shift this idea that play the opposite and make sure you can be taken seriously. My point in all of this is that no matter what you look like, you should be taken seriously.
Wow! Insiders say Ferguson has been carefully watching how Meghan and Harry built their media empire. Televised interviews, streaming projects, and a book. She's reportedly mapping out her own plan, a 3-pronged approach to financial security and maximum impact, with her memoir at the center. Imagine the pressure when the world sees a former royal exposing intimate family dynamics with the authority of someone who actually lived them. The royals know this. That's why every move matters. Ferguson is considered a wild card, no official role, no palace restrictions, and nothing left to lose. Unlike anonymous biographers, she can go after the narrative directly. And because Eugenie has a front row seat to all of it, Ferguson has access to information that no journalist, no royal correspondent, and no leaked document could ever fully uncover. That's power. Consider this. Publishers may have turned her down in the US, but there's no guarantee the UK, Australia, or streaming platforms will follow suit. And Ferguson has already proven she's willing to take risks. She's done it before, upset the palace, and walked away paying her own price. This time, with lessons learned and a more strategic approach, the impact could be far bigger. At the heart of it, this isn't just about gossip or rumors. It's about trust, loyalty, and leverage in one of the world's most watched institutions.
We all know that they behaved badly. We all know that they treated staff badly. We all know that Meghan definitely bullied everybody and anybody that she could, whether it be the Queen's chefs, the gardeners, Catherine and William's nanny, the Queen's dresser. I mean, Meghan really was a force when she joined that family of just being terrible to everyone.
Ferguson's position, older, experienced, and determined, is unique. She survived personal trials, saw the palace from the inside, and now has nothing left to lose. That makes her more dangerous than any tabloid headline or leaked document. And for Meghan and Harry, it's a reminder that some stories can't be controlled, no matter how carefully they are crafted or how many millions are spent on media strategies. If Ferguson decides to release her memoir, it won't just be a book. It will be a seismic event, shaking the foundations of royal narratives, revealing behind-the-scenes dynamics, and proving that first-hand experience can outweigh official statements, interviews, and media spin. The royal family may have underestimated her, but the world could soon see just how much she knows and just how much damage that knowledge can do. But Eugenie was right in the middle of it all. She was inside the palace, close enough to Meghan to hear her side and close enough to staff to hear theirs. Whatever stories Eugenie shared with her mother over family dinners, they're now stored in Ferguson's memory like a loaded weapon, ready to reshape the narrative entirely. Third, the Sussex exit timeline. Harry and Meghan framed their move to America as a desperate last resort, forced out by racism, hostile media, and lack of support. But insiders have long suggested the exit was planned months earlier than they admitted. Even the Finding Freedom book acknowledged early conversations about leaving.
You know, what they're ultimately scared of with the Fergie book is alternative versions of events coming out. Since Harry and Meghan have moved here, they've monetized their version of events, not necessarily the truth, but their truth through Spotify, Netflix, and Harry's book deal.
If Meghan confided in Eugenie during 2019 about plans to step back before the public announcement, Ferguson could establish that the departure was strategic, not reactive. That alone could rewrite the sympathy narrative the Sussex brand has built in America. Fourth, the Soho House connection. Meghan and Eugenie ran in the same Soho House circles before Harry even entered the picture. Marcus Anderson, a Soho House executive, reportedly helped arrange the blind date between Meghan and Harry. Their private membership networks in London between 2013 and 2016 overlapped with social circles now under intense scrutiny. No one is saying Meghan did anything wrong, but the timing of connections, conversations, and private networks, that's exactly the type of insider detail Ferguson could reveal. And once it's printed, there's no rewriting history. That's 4 concrete chapters, 4 areas where Ferguson's memoir could directly challenge the Sussex narrative. And that is what reportedly has the Sussex terrified. Not speculation, not tabloids, but the reality that a competing edition could be written by someone with first-hand knowledge. Here's the twist that just landed. U.S. publishers rejected Ferguson's $2 million pitch, while Harry and Meghan reportedly earned $20 million in advances for their book. Ferguson had floated $11 million as her target. The gap doesn't mean the story is unwelcome, it means the publishers weren't willing to pay that price. But imagine Ferguson returning with a lower offer, a chapter about what really happened with the bridesmaid dresses, or private conversations Meghan had with Kate, or when the Sussex exit was truly planned. The narrative could be dramatically different. Sarah Ferguson, broken, exiled, publicly humiliated, and watching her daughters being cut from royal life, might now be the one person on earth capable of rewriting the Sussex story. Not because she wields traditional power, but because she has nothing left to lose. And the person she's closest to, the daughter who lived in Meghan's home and heard her version of events before anyone else, is the person Meghan trusted most. If this story develops based on reports from both sides of the Atlantic, every detail will be scrutinized as it unfolds. The question is no longer whether Ferguson will speak. It's what she will reveal and how much it could shake everything the Sussexes thought they controlled. If you watch this and have thoughts, drop them in the comments below. If this breakdown made you see things differently, hit subscribe and stay locked in for more deep dives like this. Don't forget to like the video and share it with someone who needs to see it.